Alright, so today is the 29th. It's actually my birthday today, and I just got a great present by calling Mill Supply and buying the parts that I needed. I talked to a guy there who was super helpful. He showed me some pictures of the parts they had online for the assembled brake shoe, and then went down and actually found the parts that I needed and shipped them off to me for 15 bucks. I mean, it was 15 bucks. I mean, it's gonna be like 50 bucks with shipping, but it's still great. So that should come in about 5 days, he said. Hi YouTube, it's the 30th of May, which means it's time for my 15-day checkup. Problem is, I couldn't start the vehicle at all. It wouldn't even click. So I think there was a problem with the screw that was holding down the positive terminal on my battery. I tried to charge it with my charger. I kept getting a fault reading, and eventually I did get it jumped. Nothing. Then I moved the positive cable, like from the jumper cable, and my windshield wiper started going. So maybe I left those on last night, because yesterday was the day that I filmed a video, which hasn't come out yet, about my windshield wipers. So I think I might have left that on overnight and it drained the battery. So I jumped it, I got it here. Hopefully it'll start when I try and leave. They said they'll get to looking at the transmission after lunch on it. They're also going to retorque my wheels properly this time. Alright, so time for me to go kill some time while they do that. Well, there you go. It's up on the hoist, and I guess they're working on it now. So I'm parked in front of the mechanics here. They've just done the warranty checkup on the transmission. Everything looks good. They did charge me $18 to retorque the wheels because apparently they didn't touch them at all during the time that they had them when they looked at the brakes. That's what they said, so that's what we're going with. Okay, so today is the 6th, and my parts arrived from Mill Supply. These are my parking brake levers. That's the bar that's missing on the left-hand side, and I ordered all new springs, so I can replace those. I did order 2 of these bars, but I think maybe that got lost in translation there, because there's only 1 in the package. I don't think it should be a problem, because I'm replacing all the moving bits and stuff. If I just go ahead and keep the one that's on the right-hand side of the vehicle the same, but it would have been nice to replace both sides. Okay, so I've just really quickly jacked up the van, and I'm going to take a look at the right-hand tire and brakes first, because that's the one I don't know anything about. Okay, so the next part, as we learned in the first video, is that this needs to come off. But this one here seems to be entirely missing and filled with some sort of silicone. These two are different, so this might be interesting. I don't have the right socket for these ones, which means that I can't break them. So I've noticed that these are supposed to be 3/4 inch sockets, but look at the shape of this one. It's really badly deformed. This is going to be a real pain to get off. So this is what I'm using to try and break these bolts. This one's moving a little bit. This would have been easier to do while the tires were on. I didn't realize that. I never had an issue with doing it this way on the other side, and they're still hand tight, so they're easy to do. But this one's, all of them I had to break, which was difficult because this whole thing wants to spin. So what I did was I actually put some chocks, you can't really see them, maybe a little bit over there under that tire, and that seems to be working. Alright, look at this shit. That's the threads from this one here, I think, that you can see has just been utterly demolished. These are not the right fucking size. It's clearly been torqued down way too tight. Whoever did this, I mean, the previous owner obviously, is... Oh my god, I've got a lot of words that I'm not going to say on camera for that. So, I mean, I thought that the mechanic that I brought this to opened these brakes up. I guess that they didn't. They said they hooked up this brake, so they must have done that somehow. So, if they just put those all back on, I'm not too happy about that. This whole seal here was silicone. There was just silicone in here. There's silicone in there. Like this bit here is all siliconed around the edge, and the seal, as you see, I couldn't even take the seal off. I'm gonna have to like get a wire brush and bring this back down to metal. Like there's bits of metal in here, bits of silicone. It's just disgusting. I'm even now wondering if I have to replace this whole brake shoe, because like I can't put bolts back in there. So how am I supposed to keep this seal and this whole axle secure if I can't do that? I don't know. If anyone knows, please let me know. Okay, so I've got the drum off there. The adjuster definitely is not engaging properly because I didn't even need to move this back in order to make it go, so it's a good thing I got another one of them. So I'm going to take lots of pictures of this so I have a good idea of what this looks like. I'm actually not going to work on this brake until I've done it on the other side. I want to get the other side done exactly like this before I change anything on this side. Okay, so this is the familiar brake here. I need to take out all these springs and put in the new parts. Okay, so everything is off. I've got the brake pads here. That's just what it looks like without any of the actual hardware in place. So now I'm going to go and reassemble this using the new parts here and here. So it'll have all new springs and a brand new parking brake lever here to try and clean up some of the parts that are already there based on the other one and put it back together. This is pretty rusty, and it's kind of important, so I'm going to do my best to clean it up. So it may not look like a huge improvement, but it is actually working a lot better. This is so much smoother than it was before. Okay, so here's where I'm starting off with. These are basically the parts that I'm keeping, and I've gone ahead and I've cleaned up the metal. Here, this was covered in brake dust and rust. I used a wire brush and some sandpaper to get that down. This is moving a lot smoother now, and this connection point up here is also a lot smoother as well. So I've just gone to the other side because something was bothering me. These are the wrong parts. So that's this part here that connects up to this one down there. What I'm missing is this lever here. So I need to go and order another part. Can't do that today, I have to do that tomorrow. That's really frustrating. Okay, so because I can't really do much else, what I've done on this one here is just cleaned up some of the rust and brake dust that was on this side, and then on these contact points here, I really went to town, try to get down to the metal as much as I can. Yeah, they're pretty indented in a couple places here. Probably have to go buy some anti-seize to put there when I reassemble the brakes. Okay, so obviously that's pretty disappointing that I ordered the wrong part. I will keep those parts, I will replace that. Why not? New parts are never bad. But tomorrow I will call Mill Supply and order the correct part. Yeah, that's pretty much all that I can do, but it's really good that I opened up that right-hand brake because now I can see that part specifically. I may take it apart and bring the actual part down with me, even to some of the places that couldn't find it before. It definitely seems like they're searching based on like what type of vehicle you have, something like that. And even the guys at Mill Supply didn't seem to know what I was talking about when I was describing the actual part, because they sent the wrong one. So I'll give them another call. We'll figure that out. I will I'm just leaving it the way it is now, because I don't want to have to deal with things. I should also look into whether or not I need to replace that right-hand drum, what I can do to fix that. That's something I'm really not happy with there. I mean, that mechanic before who hooked up that parking brake had to have seen those bolts and the condition, and they had to have been the last one to retorque them. So when they retorqued them, either they just put those in there like they were, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I broke those threads getting them off, so plenty of blame to go around, but honestly, that's those bolts on their side, and then one's just completely missing. The thing's just filled with silicone. Well, it being filled with silicone, wouldn't that have had to be the mechanics who worked on it last who did that? Rather than putting new ones in? Had to have been, right? Okay, so it's the next morning after I figured out that the parts were wrong, and I went through my text messages and I realized that I actually looked at that part, and I okayed it. So that missing part is on me, which is kind of annoying. You know, I didn't know what the part I needed looked like exactly, but I had actually seen what those levers that they sent me looked like, and I knew what they were, so I should have caught that. So I called Mill Supply. They sent me the right part number. I called Napa Auto Parts here in town. They've got 2 on the shelf. Now, I did go to Napa and describe this and stuff, but they put everything into their system via the computer, and if it doesn't show with your vehicle, it doesn't come up as being available, pretty much, right? So they didn't know what the right part for me was, but Mill Supply did, so they gave me the actual part number. Turns out they've had it this whole time in town. I'm gonna go pick up the parts. Okay, so long story short, they don't actually have that part. The part number is 1570407, and that comes up as the spring kit that I already have. They're not able to get that part at all. So I went to my local GM Chevy dealer, and they can order it in. It's going to be 7 to 10 days, but they can't order it till Monday, so it'll be more like 9 to 12 days. But they can get the part, and literally they're the only one who I've been able to find who does, aside from Mill Supply. But it's quite a bit cheaper to do it through the local GM dealer. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I got pretty frustrated in this video. It's pretty much been one big disappointment, aside from my transmission finally being up to snuff so far. Other than that, just with the, I got frustrated. I'm really been thinking about this, and a lot of this is really mostly, it's just I'm learning something new. It's on me, so I'm not going to get angry or upset or whatever. I'm just going to fix the problems as they come. So first step for the next video is probably going to be working on the drum, fixing up the threads and cleaning them out and whatnot, and doing that stuff. I bought a kit for that, and think I've got a way to figure that out. And then, yeah, just being patient, waiting for the part to finally arrive. So thank you guys for sticking with this. Like I said in the last couple videos, I'm learning. So if you have any advice or anything at all, leave it down below. Certainly a learning experience for me on this end. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers, folks.